James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end McDonald down the line left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben all the way back to the 2 to the 1. And the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it. Calling signals, takes the snap, gives it, Chubb runs, dips his shoulders, he's to the 40, 35, he's to the 30, cut back 25, he's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Nick Chubb, he's over 1,000, and the Browns lead 6-0. James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end McDonald down the line left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben all the way back to the 2 to the 1. And the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it. Calling signals, takes the snap, gives it, Chubb runs, dips his shoulders, he's to the 40, 35, he's to the 30, cut back 25, he's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Nick Chubb, he's over 1,000, and the Browns lead 6-0.
All right, we are good to go. We are live. Welcome everybody to this edition of Load the Box Browns. I am Chris Paxitas, and that is Eric Mienko. Obviously, we know kind of why we're here today. Breaking news: the Cleveland Browns have traded quarterback Baker Mayfield to the Carolina Panthers for a conditional pick in the 2024 draft. Could be a 4th round pick if he plays more than 70% of the snaps. If he doesn't, it'll be a 5th round pick. We all kind of the writing was on the wall. We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
If you didn't come to terms with it now, then that's kind of on you at this point. Everybody knew it was happening around the NFL. The people who said that don't be shocked if Baker actually starts for the Browns this year over Watson during his suspension, however long it may be, those people were only kidding themselves. It was not going to happen at all. Before we get into more about it, because we got a lot to talk about. I want to go through our weeks. Mienko, how was your week this week?
That's good.
Good.
Not eventful. Son started basketball, so
There you
see
go.
how that journey goes.
Yep. There you go.
What you?
Wasn't too bad. Just kind of did some family stuff over the weekend. Went swimming. Daughter swimming at my mother's house, and daughter had fun. She loves swimming. She takes everything to get her out of the pool once we get her in.
Yeah.
So it was a good time. Enjoyed 4th of July weekend. Didn't really watch many fireworks. My daughter's she's a little scared of them, and because you can light them off legally in Ohio now, a bunch of our neighbors were doing it.
Yeah.
And we could see like our city's fireworks from our front yard, and she was okay with that because it was from a distance.
Right.
People around us were lighting them off, and the noise is a big sensory issue to her since she's on the autism spectrum, and she was not happy, and she went and sat in her room and played with her toys until it was over. We tried to get her to come outside, see if she was okay with it, and she said, "No, I don't want to." I'm like, well, okay. Not going to force her.
Right.
So that was that. Yeah, let's get into it. Like I said, Baker Mayfield is a Carolina Panther. I kind of wish he was a Seattle Seahawk. That would have made life a lot easier for us. It would have made life. I think the Seahawks are a better situation. I think the Panthers are possibly a team on the rise, and I think Seattle is on like a tipping point right now. Like they could fall back big time, which they're going to, or they could have been better with Baker Mayfield, but instead they're going to try to play 17 games with Drew Lock as their quarterback, which tells
or Geno Smith. So
well, to me it tells me that they are okay with losing.
Yeah. I think that was kind of the plan all along. Is you got the draft picks from the Broncos, you load up, you build the team around either CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, who are coming out next year, and then you go for the gusto. You try and sign DK, so you have your pillar on offense being DK Metcalf. You try and you signed up Jamal Adams, so you have one of your pillars on defense. So now it's just building the blocks around them with young talent. And do I think it's enough? No, their O-line is still trash. So it's still going to be a big situation for them. But they have extreme talent at wide receiver.
Yeah, and so, I think I think Seattle was going to be a lot better fit for Baker. I think him going to Carolina, I don't think it's going to work out for him. I think he'll probably be there. Obviously he's going to be there this year, but going into 2023, I don't know, because Matt Rule is on the hottest of hot seats right now. This is one of those moves for him where he had to do something. He had to do something, and I don't know if Baker Mayfield will fix their problems. They still have a shit O-line. Christian McCaffrey's only going to play 5-6 games.
You never know.
I mean, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, never say never, but you know,
It's still Chuba Hubbard behind him, and he played really well last year.
And they did use a first round pick on a tackle, but I still don't.
Top 10 pick.
It just and hopefully it works out. And this is not me saying like that. I hope it doesn't work out for Baker, because I want it to work out for him. Yeah. But one of the top 2 receivers for Carolina already has his one foot out the door.
Yeah, but did you see he clarified his comments?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so he clarified his comments. He said that him saying no to wanting Baker was him having Sam Darnold's back. Because that's my quarterback.
Okay, well, I can respect that.
If we're being honest, yeah, that's respectable.
I can definitely respect that.
The draft is one thing, but trading draft picks away to get another guy who you don't believe is head and shoulders above, Darnold, which I don't think anyone believes that he's head and shoulders above. I think everyone believes that he's better, but I don't know about head and shoulders above.
I would say Baker's proven himself a capable quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold has not.
But Baker's also had it in an exact perfect situation.
I mean,
Sam Darnold does not. What has Sam Darnold ever had as far as a good situation?
The best situation he was in was last year. I'll say that.
With a no Christian McCaffrey almost all year long. Yeah. Absolutely terrible offensive line. Yeah. A first-year head coach in Matt Rule. It was a shitstorm.
He wasn't a first-year head coach last year.
Was he not?
That was his second year last year, because Matt Rule was hired the same year as Kevin Stefanski.
Was he?
Yes, because I remember the Browns were kind of interested in Matt Rule, and he said thanks but no thanks.
Okay. I thought it was his second year, but either way, point being, it wasn't a good offense. Their defense wasn't great. Yeah. It was good, not great. So there's no good. I mean, Robbie Anderson, we all know, is not great to begin with. You still have DJ Moore.
Well,
DJ Moore is really good.
DJ Moore's great, and he also something that not everybody talks about is the fact that Hollywood Higgins is with them right now. So he's got rapport with the receiver over there, which is great. I don't know. I just don't think the Carolina Panthers are very good. I don't think they're a good football team. And it would not shock me if they are last in that division this year.
Yep, I agree.
I don't think they will be. I think they'll be third, because I don't see Atlanta doing a damn thing this year.
No, I agree.
So, but it's going to be a race to be in fourth place in the NFC South this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all know that Tampa's going number 1, New Orleans number 2. But
I don't know. I think it's a toss up, because it depends. What does New Orleans have behind Kamara? Do they have a running game at all?
And
if Jameis gets hurt, you're going to think that Taysom Hill's going to win them 6, 7, 8 games?
No, but do you think Carolina's going to be second in the division?
I think any of those 3 teams at the bottom have a slight chance to do something. And the other thing is this: Marcus Mariota's not a bad quarterback.
He's
never been a good quarterback, but he's not a bad quarterback. They have decent talent there.
You're right.
Meech, one of my best friends, is a huge Falcons fan. He's convinced they're winning like 8 games. Now, I wouldn't agree with that. I think it's gonna be closer to like 6, but I don't think it's too far off. I mean, then again, you never know.
I don't think Mariota's going to play very many games this year. I think they want to see what they have in Desmond Ridder anyway.
I have a lot of faith in the kid too.
I like Desmond Ridder. I still think the best quarterback coming out of the draft was Malik Willis personally. But that's not to say I don't like Desmond Ridder. I think he did a lot for UC.
He did.
He put that team on the map, and and that's awesome. Anyway, yeah, I don't see Carolina doing very well this year. I don't see them winning more than 8 games. I think if all goes well, they'll win 8 games. If everything goes as it should, that's it. That's their upside. That's the ceiling right there, is 8 games. And that's even with Baker Mayfield. And I think Baker is obviously a more than capable quarterback. He is. He's done it. We've seen it. We saw it in 2018. We saw it in 2020. We know he's good. I just don't think he's going to be able to do it with this team. He got used to having a lot of pieces around him, excuse me, in Cleveland. And he definitely doesn't have those same pieces.
Well, if McCaffrey can stay healthy,
it's a big if.
If he can, they have a very similar backfield there.
Yeah.
It's not as good. I don't think anyone would say it is, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
2 very good backs. That's what he needs. He has DJ Moore, who's a big game, big play freak. You get him the ball in his hands in space, and he's gone. Problem is, you look at Odell. Odell's the same way, and Baker couldn't get with him.
Yep.
And you have Robbie Anderson, who's the deep threat, who, if he can get his hands on the ball, he may catch it, but that's if he gets his hands on the ball.
Yep.
Because he is known as brick hands.
Yep.
But
so the Browns have made a couple of statements. I will go ahead and read them. This statement is from Jimmy and D. Haslam. Said, Baker Mayfield infused our organization with tenacity and grit during his time as our starting quarterback. Baker's competitiveness, toughness, and ability to persevere. God, I'm losing my mind. Were all characteristics that endeared him to our city as well as his teammates. That was actually what General Manager Andrew Berry said. Sorry. He will always have a unique place in Browns history for what he accomplished, and we wish him well as he continues his career. The Haslams said, we want to thank Baker Mayfield for his contributions to the Cleveland Browns. From the moment he was drafted, he gave his all for this organization and this city. With his fierce competitive spirit, he excited the fan base and accomplished things that no player at his position had done in Cleveland for a very long time. He also made a difference in the community, whether it was hosting events at the Boys and Girls Club, honoring our troops, supporting the Special Olympics, as well as countless other charitable endeavors. We are grateful for everything he did for this organization and wish him and Emily well in the future. There's something telling about these statements that they released, and I don't know if you caught it, but there is something telling for me. You know what it is?
What's that?
Kevin Stefanski didn't say jack shit.
Yeah, but that's not.
He typically would. That's not true. That's not true. Typically, when something like this goes down, more often than not, your head coach is going to say something.
Usually in a press conference. But the team is also away right now. It's also summer vacation.
I know, but I don't know. I guess I expected something to be said by Kevin, and I think his silence is deafening. To me,
I mean, I think the silence is there. I don't know if it's deafening to me, only because I think the big thing is the GM and the owners should be the first ones to say something. I think they, in my opinion, I think they went about the right way. I appreciate the Haslam's letter more than I appreciate Andrew Berry's, because I think that I love the fact that they highlighted how much he does charitable work. So I think that's huge. I like their statement better than Andrew Berry's. I think Andrew Berry's was he said, "Hey, write this for me. I really don't care what you put in it."
Yep.
That's what it kind of seemed like. Make sure you put that he had tenacity, and make sure that you say that, he was great for the city, and, the typical stuff that you would hear. It's the same type of thing they would write about, like Jarvis.
Yeah.
Or anybody, really.
Yeah. Also, one thing that I did forget to mention with this trade, one of the big hiccups was his salary cap, or his salary, what he's owed this year. How are they going to do that? The Browns are paying $10.5 million. The Panthers are only going to be paying him 5, and Baker agreed to take a $3.5 million pay cut to get this deal done. And I think the only winner in this trade, because I only think there's one winner out of the Panthers, Baker, and the Browns. I think the only winner here is the Panthers.
Yeah,
I don't think this is a win for Baker, because I don't think this is a situation where he's going to excel. I don't think this is a situation where he's going to take this team and lead them to 10, 11, 12 wins.
Well, I don't know that was ever the situation that he thought he could be in.
No,
I think he just wanted a chance to start, to prove that he could be a starter next year for, say, a team like, I don't know, New Orleans, Atlanta, someone who is not quite on Houston, a team that's not on a full rebuild, but maybe looking for a younger guy that could come in and be like a Jameis Winston, where they could sign him to a 2-3 year deal, draft a young guy behind him, and say, hey, screw it, see who can win this.
Yeah.
So I think it could be a very good situation for him. I think it's what he wanted, and I think that of the situations that are possibilities, Seattle obviously was number one, but I think Carolina was the most obvious.
Yeah. Well, I still am going to say that Seattle was the better in the better situation, and I still don't get how they didn't want him. I don't get it.
They're tanking.
That's got to be it. Other than that, I don't see a reason. But whatever. I'm just a guy sitting in his basement. I'm not a GM. I'm not a head coach.
It's clear they're tanking.
Yeah.
Why else get all the draft capital if you're going to try and win now? That team's not built to win now.
No, it's not. Not in the slightest.
They're just not full out tanking. They're not getting if they were full out tanking, they would have got rid of Metcalf and Lockett already.
God, I wanted DK Metcalf in a Browns jersey.
I would have loved it, but it was never going to happen.
No, it wasn't.
Not for what people are getting right now, and not what he would have commanded.
Yeah.
You gotta think he's gonna be getting Devontae Adams money. He's not getting AJ Brown money.
No, I know that, and plus, they would have wanted at least a couple first round picks, and we really didn't got much of those. Nope. Next 2 years, we got 0.
Unless they would have had us give up one of our younger talent players, which obviously didn't want to happen. They could say, okay, well, in that trade, give us Greg Newsome.
Yeah.
Or JOK, and obviously we would be furious as Browns fans.
Oh, hell no, you can't do that.
Great.
So one thing that people are now talking about is that week 1 game just got really interesting. And I, as a football fan, as a Browns fan, I'm begging I am praying that Watson is not suspended for that, at least that week 1 game, because my God, it's not going to be good.
If he hang on, that's if he wins the starting job.
He's going to win that starting job. Do you really think that Sam Darnold is going to beat out Baker Mayfield for the starting job?
There are already reports that they have no intentions to trade Sam Darnold, and he's going to compete for a starting job.
He can compete all he fucking wants. He ain't going to win it.
I'm just stating. Well, you have to look at it this way. Darnold has already been in this offense for a full year, so he already knows what Matt Rule is looking for. He knows Matt Rule. Why would he not have the upper hand in this situation?
I mean, you're right. But,
now, if we look at talent wise, Baker should win the job.
He should win it handedly, and that's why I think he's going to.
Well, he should have won many games over the past 4 years, and he didn't win those. He shouldn't have thrown the interception in the Chiefs game. He shouldn't have thrown 3 interceptions in the Packers game last year. Those are the things I can think off the top of my head that he shouldn't have done, but he did anyway. He shouldn't have played after he completely broke the shoulder during the Cardinals game. But guess what? He did it anyway.
Yeah.
His career is full of things he shouldn't have done, but he did because he's Baker Mayfield and he does what he wants.
Can't argue with it. One thing, it was nice that Browns, it was the first time. I don't think it was it definitely wasn't the first time in Browns history, but it at least bare minimum first time since 99 that we had a quarterback throw in 4 seasons, throw for over 3,000 yards. He's the first quarterback that I can, he's the first quarterback since, he's the second one since 99, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I had to look, to have more touchdowns than interceptions. I don't know if that's true, because I think Tim Couch might have had a year where he popped off, and obviously we know Derek Anderson had that one year in 2007.
Right.
But he's definitely been the best one we've had since 99 by a long shot, and that's to say the least. I'm gonna miss him because I was a Baker homer. Everybody out there knows that I was a Baker homer. I loved Baker Mayfield, and I still do, and I'm still going to. He meant a lot to me. He meant a lot. He got me excited for Browns football, and it was something that I had not felt in a very long time.
Amen.
And this was something you brought to me, and it was kind of your idea. So I think you said you wanted to have us go over 3 of our favorite moments with Baker.
Yeah.
And because it was your idea, I want you to go first. I want you to tell me one of your favorite moments.
I'm gonna give the obvious.
Which one?
The
There's
obvious,
a bunch of obvious ones.
Well, I think the most, when you think of the whole Baker situation, a lot of people think of the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
What did he bring to the city? That was, we went through 1-31. We are dying for anything.
Desperate.
Just give us something.
Yep.
Give us a spark. We drafted this kid first overall. We all witnessed how it went on Hard Knocks. And I'm literally getting goosebumps talking about it. But my best friend Jordan,
I'm tearing up right now. I'm not lying to you.
Yeah, and I still regret it to this day. But Jordan went to that game. He called me on Wednesday and said, "Hey, go with us up to the game." And I just said, "I don't know, man. I just don't really want to. I'm not really feeling it." They went up there, got $60 seats, sat up in the top corner, and he said that literally when Baker walked into that game, he said it felt like a lightning bolt hit the entire stadium. He said it's one of the first times in his life you could truly feel the energy. He said it felt like a literal current was going through the entire stadium. And you've heard other people talk about that.
Yep.
That it felt like a lightning bolt hit that stadium the moment he walked in that game. The moment Tyrod got hurt, we all knew. We all knew what was coming. He leads down that first drive. They do the whole Philly special.
Yeah. Baker
scores the iconic Conor McGregor walk after he hits the 2-point conversion. It's something that I'll always remember. I was sitting in my bed watching the football game, and I remember just going absolutely nuts because I was so excited to see Baker Mayfield. And to me, that's one of the moments that no one can take away from him, ever. Between the good and the bad. Yeah. So I'll let you give one, and then I'll go to my second one.
Just to comment on that real quick before we go on, because that was going to be one of mine. So I just want to say something about it. I won't forget watching that game. I will till the day I die. I will never forget watching that game. When he came on and hit that first pass to Jarvis, and it was a fucking laser. He threw a fucking piss missile straight to Jarvis, and I was so ecstatic. And then watching the way he played that game, and then when Money Mitch got that game-ending interception, I was sitting on my couch, and I felt bad because I was living in a duplex at the time, and I screamed at the top of my lungs. And I heard my neighbor get a little mad, which, sorry, actually, I'm not sorry. They were awful neighbors. But I I ran outside just screaming. And I was so happy. I was so happy. That was that's a night I won't forget. Okay. I'm going to do one. My other one my first one that I'll say is I will not forget the best throw I've ever seen him make. And that was a rollout against, coincidentally, the Carolina Panthers rollout.
You stole mine.
Sorry, you stole mine, man. It was the rollout pass he rolled out to his left, and he chucked that ball, as they say, a country mile, and it was the perfect ball. Hit him right in his fucking hands. Hit Jarvis into double coverage. It was the perfect pass. And it was absolutely perfect. My cat is screaming, so I'm sorry if you guys hear that. But that's one of that's probably my that's my first moment that I'll never forget. One of my favorite moments.
I thought you were gonna go the other obvious. So I guess I'll go the other obvious.
Okay, I know which one you're gonna say, and if it's gonna be that, I'm gonna comment on it. So,
well, and I think for Browns fans, it's the biggest reason why we'll never forget Baker.
Yep,
and that's the playoff win.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. That was my other one.
If you look at the game itself, he did enough to win. We didn't need him to do anything special.
Yep.
He did everything he was supposed to do. But it was the first playoff win. It was the moment we had hope as Browns fans. It was the moment that we knew that or at least we thought, we had something truly special. We thought we had our guy, right?
Yep.
This is exactly what we needed. We've been waiting for 21 years for this guy to come in and to do exactly what he did. He's the savior. He's the exact guy we thought he was going to be. He said he wanted to come in and turn the city around, and look what he did. And we all know what happened the next year.
Yeah.
So, but that moment there, I remember watching that at my dad's house. And it's a moment I won't forget. But I remember the first play of that game, and it was just, I was amazed. I was like, This is not happening. There's technically the second play. But there's no way that this is the way that this game's going to start. Yeah. If this game starts this way, how are we going to fuck it up? And that was the first thought in my head, because why we're trained as Browns fans to think that way.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
No.
We
nearly did,
great.
though. We nearly did.
Know.
That defense was shoddy that year. God, that secondary was awful. It's a whole reason why we nearly lost that game. And
agreed.
Defense is why we lost against Kansas City. But I
Or
digress.
the interception by Baker, but
wait, did he throw an interception in the divisional round?
Falling down.
The divisional? I'm talking
sure.
about. No, because that was
Kansas
week
City.
1. Yeah, I'm talking about the playoff game in Kansas City.
I thought that was during the playoff game.
No, that was
week 1 this past year.
That was week 1 of 2021.
Same jersey, whatever.
It was the
he had three. He had 3 chances to go down and score.
I know. Trust me. I know that. I'm just saying. Anyway.
So I have my years mixed up. Sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. Yeah, I'm gonna comment on just that playoff win. Because that was I didn't know what to do. I had the last time the Browns won a playoff game was in '94. I was 2 years old. I don't remember it. I have no memory of that whatsoever.
Right.
All I've known was losing, except for 2 years, pretty much. Because I'm not going to comment on anything before '95 because I was too young to know what was going on.
Right.
I did know about the Browns because during the dark years, I would ask my dad. I said, "Daddy, when are the Browns coming back? When are the Browns coming back?" And And yeah, since 99, I mean, it's only been, there's 2 winning seasons in 02 and 07, and then fuck, we put it together in 2020. That playoff game was one of the best moments of my life. I'm not kidding. Like, the birth of my daughter, my wedding, and that playoff victory against Pittsburgh
in the Cavs championship.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah.
I remember calling right after that game.
Daughter, wedding, Cavs, Browns. Yeah, because that Cavs one, I was absolutely fucking raved in the best possible way. I was. We were actually on the phone with each other as the clock hit 0 that game. Anyway, that's another one. So if I can't pick that moment, I'm going to pick I woke up feeling dangerous.
Yep.
Cause that was like we already knew that Baker was gonna be special. We knew he was gonna be a special player, but we were like, damn, this guy's got fucking swagger and tenacity. Yep. That's just, I don't know, that's always stuck with me. That moment. And I think it's stuck with a lot of people. So that's one for me. Definitely.
So I have a tie for my last one.
Okay.
The first one's short because I'm just not a fan of him. The Tony Grossi saga, and when he goes, oh Jesus, Tony.
Yeah.
So that's my first one.
That was a bad fucking year though.
That was a terrible year. Yeah. But it was hilarious, that quote.
Oh, 100%.
In my third moment, the true moment was the Atlanta Chubb run when Baker is almost running down the sideline, competing with him speed-wise to be the first one to get him there. Well, I guess what I should say is really it's just more the Baker celebrations. Because that's something that I always remember about him as well. As he was always the first, when somebody made a big play, he was always one of the first ones down there. Immediately. Running down the field, full sprint, arms waving, like a madman to get there for his guys.
That casual slide during the wall, the Hollywood walk.
I didn't want to take it in case you were going to mention
I wasn't gonna. That's not my thing. But that's just that when you talk about him running down to celebrate, just that fucking cool ass slide that he does.
Flip.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. The picture that was one of the coolest celebrations I've ever seen.
Oh yeah. All right, my third and final one is actually going to be the Week 17 victory against Pittsburgh to get them in the playoffs. That's gonna be that one. So during the playoff victory, I didn't cry. I was just like jumping for joy, excited. I didn't sleep that night after that game. I didn't sleep because I was pumped. I'm like, all right, fuck, let's go. Like, bring on the divisional round. Let's fucking go.
Right.
But the win to get us in the playoffs, and it was the moment where, we went for it. It was on 4th down.
Yep.
And Baker called his own number.
Mm-hmm.
And he fucking dove and got that first down. That was my favorite. That was probably one of it's my top 3 favorite moments.
The Jim Donovan call afterwards is something I'll always remember.
Yeah.
And when he said the only thing missing is all of you. Man, that was in true Jim Donovan fashion, he gave the exact emotion you needed at the exact right time.
Yeah. That was a moment that I had been dreaming of for so long, and we deserved it so much. And I can't put it into words of how thankful I am for Baker Mayfield. I really am. Makes me sad to know that he's not going to be with us anymore. Like, I'm sad. I'm very upset by it. He did a lot for this franchise, and no matter what people think of him, no matter what anybody thinks of him, he did a lot for us. And I'm always gonna be thankful for that. We're thankful for what he did. And
I think a
this
big
is a
word.
sad day. This should be a sad day.
No need to be sad about it. Yeah, I think for me, one of the big words that comes to mind is hope. He gave us hope, and not the fake hope that we had through Brandon Whedon
I
and
didn't
through
have
Johnny
hope for Brandon
Manziel.
Whedon. Let's make
Hey,
that
listen,
clear.
listen. Okay, stop. I was a Brandon Whedon fan. I'm sorry.
I told you. I told you it wasn't going to work out.
I wanted the 29-year-old baseball player.
He was 28 when he was drafted.
Fine. But I through the Manziel years, through the Whedon years, through the RG3 BS, I felt the ground move beneath my feet. All that crap. We had hope. Cody Kessler, our old friend Kyle, would love to be in on that argument.
Yeah.
But it's the key is we had hope with Baker. We had hope. Is this real? We all thought this was the real thing. For the first time in a very long time, it was, hey, this game may start after this year. Think about that. When's the last time we truly had a quarterback where we went into the season through a full season and we said, you know what? This is our guy. It was always, I don't know if that's our guy.
Yeah.
I don't really like him. I don't trust him.
Yep.
But with Baker, it was different.
Yep.
We always had faith that he was going to figure it out.
Exactly.
So that's the one thing no one could take away from us.
Yep.
Or at least away from him, as he gave us, as Browns fans, truly gave us hope.
Yep. And honestly, I'm the guy who I always say I hate 31 teams out of 32, and Carolina Panthers are still on that list.
Yeah.
And they always will be. But I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be rooting for Baker down there. I'd be lying if I said that if I wanted him and the Carolina Panthers to fail, because I don't want him to fail. I don't want him to fail. I want him to do well. I think I just hope it works out for him. I just don't think it's going to.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's in the situation that'll.
I have to be honest about this whole thing. I kind of hope, and this is just more of the Baker fan side of me, is I kind of hope they beat us week 1. Because this whole situation, this front office has totally mismanaged. I was talking to my brother about this, and I said, if you believe that they get anything as a grade other than an F, you're blind. Because this whole situation has been a complete disaster. What they should have done is made things right from the very beginning. I'm not saying, make up kiss his feet. But he said at that press conference in Norman that they've had no communication. You should have went to him and said, listen, we did what we did because we believe that Watson is a top 5 player in this league. And we told you that we would try and upgrade the position. We believe he's an upgrade. We would like for you to come in if he is suspended and take over. That will increase your value, and we will let you know who your trade suitors are and pick where you want to go. Make him happy. Make the team happy. He's an upgrade over Jacoby Brissett. Everyone would have won, in my opinion. And you could still trade him by week 4 or 5 if you need Jacoby to start a game or 2, so be it. But I just think that the whole thing was mismanaged. And they look like fools only getting a conditional 5th out of it next year.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why I said that they are losers in this trade in the end, because you just traded your number 1 overall pick in 2018 for a conditional 4th, 5th, whatever. Yep. And you're still paying most of his salary.
Yep.
Browns did not win this trade.
No. This trade.
They lost the battle, but they might win the war. Mm-hmm. I think in the end, the Browns will win the war, but they will lose this battle.
And I think that's kind of a perfect segue into what I mentioned to you before the show. This is from what I saw from Brad Stanbrook's Instagram.
Yeah.
That according to ESPN, that the NFL came to Watson and the NFLPA about a 12-game ban, and that he would have to reapply for admission back into the league, and both the NFLPA and Watson said no. So to me, that makes me believe that he's going to get less. A lot of people are giving rumors that he's going to not get a full 12 games. I have said all along, in my heart of hearts, I think it's between 6 and 8. I think 6 is probably the number they'll end up going with, because it'll be more than Zeke's, but less than a full year. If I'm right, so be it, Ian. If I'm wrong and it's less, great for us. But do I think, me personally and my morals, I think he should get between 6 and 8, no matter what.
Yeah. There are rumors that he might not even get suspended at all,
which would be wild.
Well, the Browns fan in me says hell yes to that.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. We gotta know soon. We gotta know soon, because man, this is getting fucking ridiculous. It's getting absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I think we should know by the end of the week. I mean, if all this stuff is starting to leak about the whole 12-game thing, it's going to happen soon. I think it'll happen over the next 2 days.
See, I was talking to my dad about it, and he was thinking it might be a couple weeks.
They said by July 11th. There was something to do on July 11th where they had the deliberations would be completely done, and they thought the ruling would have to come down by the 11th.
We'll see.
If that's the case, great for us.
Yep. It's just one of those we'll see things. Yeah. But all right. So I guess that's gonna do it. There's really not a whole lot else to talk about. I said, guys, we said it was gonna be a short edition this week. Not a whole lot else to talk about, but we'll see you on the next episode. Again, this has been Load the Box Browns, brought to you by United Athletic Wear. Please shop unitedathleticwear.com for all your athletic wear needs. I am Chris Baxitas, and that was Eric Mienko. We end it how we always do. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Ooh, ooh.